His guests are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
The role of a woman in the society is to submit. Birth control are the pills of the devil. Education is so fundamental to the development of a people. I'm murderous. Simple as that. What am I voting for? Voting will change nothing.
Tout le monde haïtien, como yé. God save the Queen.
I welcome the thousands of Bahamian citizens all around the Bahama Islands who has now joined me here on Freedom March. I regret to have received complaints from Grand Bahama in which my people, the Negro people, are complaining that Cable Bahamas does not have their television up and running, and that they are unable to watch Freedom March. Listen, find someone with a Facebook page and go to my Facebook page, Rodney Monker. I'm sharing ILTV Studios Facebook page on my Facebook page. Today, I shall be calling for the corruption unit of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. I think I can make a case against my party, the FNM, my government, the FNM government, in a case of stupidity. I have evidence to prove that as it comes to running the people their money, the FNM is stupid. And so I'm out to prove that stupidity is a sin. And who knows, behind all the stupid things that the FNM is doing, which I shall attempt to prove today, may be a cover for corruption. I don't know. Lord, I want to be wrong. So when I come back, we can have to look at some of the things that my party is doing after they would have had 10 solid weeks of holidays. Everybody went to the house. They all look fat and plump and happy. 10 weeks while the country went to hell. I also going to look at the devil in the Nassau Guardian, because the Nassau Guardian has been writing all kinds of blasphemous things and sinful things, questioning our faith in God. Boy, I don't know what's going on, eh? God save us from the storm. And them wicked people at the Nassau Guardian say it ain't had nothing to do with Jehovah God. Boy, I don't know how they get like that. I mean, can you imagine? Some Negroes went away to school, talked to some sinful white people who tell them ain't no God. Now they come back and they're writing all kind of wickedness. But you better stop it before I ask for something. And the Bible say it may not happen, so I may not ask for it. But today, we're going to look at the craziness in the FNM versus the sense of the PLP. This is Freedom March. I'll be right back after the break.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker, and listen, I'm so flattered and honored as I move around the island, the many citizens who tell me that they are listeners to Freedom March. So I welcome each and every one of you. Today, Christina Love, she's the brown-skinned damsel who's better known as Chrissy, is believed to be outside of the capital of the Bahamas. In fact, some sources claim that Chrissy Love is in the Netherlands, somewhere in Amsterdam. Well, tomorrow, she is expected, along with the Negro man, Omar Archer, to appear in the Supreme Court of the Bahamas before Her Ladyship, Senior Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson. Well, Chrissy, before I came to studio, was on her Facebook page streaming. Man, I thought I heard dirty words, but no one could curse like Chrissy Love. I mean, she's like a drunken sailor. Man, she could curse, and she could rhyme the dirty words. Well, let's go to the Punch. You know the Punch? To see what the Punch is reporting, because I told you that Chrissy Love and Omar Archer, they were like two drunken sailors. They cursed out Her Ladyship, putting the judge of the Supreme Court in fear that when she ordered them to appear in court, all of the judge's family came to court. It was like if they had come to court just in case things got out of hand. That's what's going on here in the Bahamas. So I should go to the Punch, because you know many of you all take stuff and you might not be able to afford the Punch. So I'll read it to you. Today, of course, is Thursday, September the 14th, 2017. It's the Punch. See? That's the Punch there, right? And it goes like this. Self-styled radio and social media video stars Chrissy Love and Omar Archer have been ordered to appear before a judge on Friday. Writs reportedly have been served on Chrissy, real name Christina Thompson, and Omar Archer. Well, I have to stop for a second. According to the light-skinned Archers, descendants of Abaco, they say that this Omar Archer is really a descendant of their slaves. Well, they are to appear before Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson. Justice Grant ordered them to appear before her this Friday at 10 a.m. In the writs, Justice Grant further asks Love and Archer to explain why they should not be sent to Foxhill Prison for contempt of court. Chrissy Love and Archer was summoned to appear before Justice Grant for alleged contempt on August 31st. But they failed to show up in court. Former Deputy Attorney General Damian Gomez appeared for Chrissy Love. Human rights lawyer Fred Smith QC will appear for Archer on Friday. Gomez QC has withdrawn as the lawyer for Love. Archer and Love reportedly have been advised to apologize to the court by their attorneys. Goodness me, I hardly could read these stories. So that is what is taking place. And they case out the judge, accuse the judge of being a PLP, and that the judge was biased in favor of Shane Gibson. And they were upset with the judge, and so they cased the judge out. Well, it would appear, based on Chrissy Love streaming that she was somewhere in Europe or pretending to be in Europe. And man, she case. But I believe she will show up tomorrow because I detected a kind of caution when she told international viewers that her lawyer has advised her to be careful of what she is saying. So, tomorrow is expected to be big drama. And I want thousands of people to go to the court. It's open court. Sit down in the court and learn some of the judicial history of our country. So I just want you to know that Chrissy Love and Omar Archer are expected to be civil and obedient and show up in court tomorrow, 10 a.m. Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson. Let's go to court and see what is going on. I don't know, but a Negro woman has given me an idea. She wanted to know if I was willing to broadcast live from outside the court. I don't know. I don't feel motivated to do so, but I might do it because I think it would be great to see Chrissy, Love, and Omar as they show up to confront justice. So this is powerful. Chrissy, listen, I'm praying for you and I'm praying for Omar. Okay? Y'all go to court now and be civil. Okay? Just be civil because y'all are a superstar. Omar's a superstar and Chrissy, you are a superstar. Well, there's sad news in the country. The crimes is increasing. The murder rates are increasing. And we have been committing murder from the baby to the breast. You would recall just the other day, an 8-month-old Negro infant was shot multiple times. And then, of course, we are getting reports that yesterday, a 16-year-old Negro lad was found riddled with gunshot behind a house in his own yard. This would have happened in Bryce Lane. That's in the Fox Hill community. And it is sudden that these murders are still taking place. And then we know that on the island of Grand Bahama, the police are looking for 2 Negro males suspected of a recent murder. So, if we look at the island of New Providence, in which Nassau capital is located, and we would observe that here on the island, the vast majority of the seats were won by the Free National Movement, who is the government. In Fox Hill, we have a noted Negro female who is the parliamentary representative. What's her name? Goodness of mercy. I can't remember her name. Goodness, Ezekiel. What is the name of the MP? You remember? The former justice had pulled a deal for her brother. What her name is? Remember the judge, Justice John Lyons, who gave her brother the contract to do the accounts, and Dame Anita Allen, in one of her judgments, she just cursed out that judge. I remember her name. Chanel Ferguson. Chanel, what you doing? You're the member of Fox Hill. You told the people that you would be able to reduce the murders in the constituency, that you will mobilize all of the young men. You will talk peace, but nobody could hear from you. Come, Chanel, they're killing right under your nose. You from around the corner, and they down the road. You have to do something about it, man. A 16-year-old Negro male killed, and Chanel Ferguson ain't doing nothing. Come, man, you got to do a little something, man. You have to go there and talk to the brothers on the block and tell them they must stop it. And while you are talking peace with them, you have to advocate to the F&M that the FNM must come up with a fighting strategy to save our black young men. And since Dr. Minnis is in a state of evacuating those who are facing danger, Chanel, it might be a wonderful idea, like Mr. Dwayne Monroe suggested, that the FNM should, evacuate young men between the ages of 16 and 27 who are murdered victims. These are potential murder victims. And I don't know what Chanel is doing. It looked to me like all you're doing is running that restaurant, man. I have no problem with you having your restaurant. But what time it is? It's the people's time. Okay? It's the people's time. And since I'm cursing you out, I might as well complain. I had a little bit of something by the restaurant, and you ain't had enough pepper. You must say a real Bahamian. You got to learn how to spice up the pot. Okay? I always wanted to throw that in your face. But since you wasn't in the house, I decided I'll hold that back. Chanel, you have to learn to spice up the pot. But in addition to that, what are you doing in Fox Hill? Why don't you join team with Fred Mitchell? He has a wonderful community center constructed. And you should, meet with him, and you all come up with kind of social programs that would inspire the young people. But Chanel, you nothing but a picky teeth man, Toby. A 16-year-old man, all kind of shooting in Fox Hill. And use the MP. Go talk to them. Oh, boy. And then meanwhile, in Freeport, 2 Negro males wanted by the police. And I can't understand, with all their ministers and MP in Grand Bahama, goodness me, this is page 3 of the Punch. Ivan is sinful, eh? I've never seen a woman look as delicious as this, as on page 3. They must stop it. So, in Freeport, the police is looking for 2 Negro males. All right? Police have released few details surrounding the murder of the 16-year-old boy. But meanwhile, they are looking for, what are they looking for? They're looking for Bernard Apollon. Goodness of mercy, it's one of my people. Famille moi haïtien qui habite en Grand Bahama. Parlez ak Timonio. Parlez ak ti garçon ou. Di garçon ou. Pa tiye moun. Si ou tiye moun, map mande FNM pou panli. All right? And map want. Le mwa koute o tande yon garçon haïtien tiye moun. Map want pou sa. Okay? Pa tiye moun, paske si ou tiye moun, map mande government pou pan. Pou pan. I just told my Haitian people that I want them to talk to their children, talk to their sons, tell them do not kill. Because if they kill, I believe in hanging. And if they continue to kill, I will ask the FNM to hang, panly, hang him. So I just thought I would point that out. Goodness of mercy. And now the count. Look what we've come down to. Dr. Minnis promised us that he will turn the murderers back. But then, but Dr. Minnis, oh boy, is just turning out to be a political failure. We know it. A failure. Messing up the white money, just throwing it away. Can't save the young people from murder. Can't. And it's so easy. Can you imagine if I was Minister of National Security? All I have to do is make one announcement. All murders are suspended. That's it. Just tell the young people, suspend murder. Now, Lala, you and the brothers on top of Mason Addition Hill. What you all mean you all didn't hear the shout out yesterday? Okay? I'm going to do it again. To Lala and the brothers on Mason Hill, I salute you. All right? And you must join me in the next march. And please don't leave no dirt, because that house is my grandma's house. Okay? So don't do that. Don't leave no date there up on Mason Addition Hill. So I just thought I'll have to say that to them. When I come back, we are going to look at Dr. Minnis' pledge. You see how when you're not thinking, the foolish and idle political statement that can be made. One day Minnis was about to abandon the whole of Ragged Island. And Minnis don't own no wealth on Ragged Island. He ain't own no land. Nothing there. Right? But in a twinkling of an eye, somebody said to him, let's abandon Ragged Island. But he failed to recognize that many of the educated and sophisticated people on the island are descendants of Ragged Island. And they are upset and they are prepared to rebuild their own island. And so this is powerful that they're challenging Minnis. All right? So we have to see what plans that the Prime Minister has. And we have to watch him because we know that he's demonstrating how to throw away money. Because the ripple effect of him spending $2,600,000 on an insurance company, I think he would have stand better if the government would just buy some numbers. You know, just go to All Sabat's number shop and you just put 2,600,000. And I think Minnis would have hit the jackpot. I think that's what he should do. Minnis, I prefer you to buy numbers than for you to just throw away the money. Because I know that Marshall know how to, what you call it? Box. Yeah. Marshall, you know how to box. It was better that Minnis spent $2,600,000 right here at Sabat's place. And we would have outsmart Sabat. And the country could have picked up a couple of $1 million. Anyway, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know. But I can't wait for tomorrow to see what Chrissy Love can do. Will the white people in Netherlands keep Chrissy there? Or will she return? Or will we have to extradite her? Man, this is a big show. Chrissy Love and Omar Archer. They're F&Ms and they are out of control. I'll be right back after the break.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. During the break, I could not get Chrissy Love out of my mind. It was as if she was jammed in the back of my head, and I continued to see her. And then for a second, it was like if I went off into the spirit. Because, you know, sometimes I do, and I'm able to see things. I see things, you know. Well, one of the things that I'm saying is, if Chrissy Love do show up to go to court, she being a sister of the Anglican Church, what will her spiritual advisor do for her? We know that Chrissy, notwithstanding the fact that she curses some of the dirtiest words, is a member of St. Agnes Church, and her spiritual advisor is Archdeacon Ranfilly Brown. Will Father Brown accompany Candia? Not Candia, goodness me. You see, I tell you, I go off. I say in Candia now. Candia, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call your name. But will he accompany Chrissy Love? Because sometimes the Anglican Church is known for paying class. I'll give you an example. When John Bullitt Bosbeck had to go to court, he being a member of the ruling class, he was able to take with him a retired governor general, the Bishop of Nassau and the Bahamas, the Bishop of the southern part of the island, and many other holy men and powerful political figures. Certainly, Chrissy Love is entitled to be accompanied, if not by the Bishop of the Anglican Church, Bishop Lige Burt, certainly Archdeacon Ranfurly Brown should accompany her. I know Father Brown is intimidated by the court because the last time he was in contact with a Negro young lady, he had to chastise her, and he ended up being prosecuted. But thank God he won the case. But I think that Chrissy Love needs spiritual healing, and the best person to accompany her would be her spiritual advisor, and that would be Deacon the Arch Ranfurly Brown. I just thought I had to say that. Chrissy needs spiritual healing. Now, I've just observed that the Nassau Guardian has given us much more detail, because I'm very concerned over the killing of the 16-year-old boy, because there were a neighbor who called me this morning upset over the fact that his 16-year-old neighbor was murdered, and how it appears that the MP is so insensitive and she's not reaching out to the young man to see whether or not she can, provide the kind of leadership, because in that Fox Hill area, they've had a lot of gang warfare. They've had multiple shootings. You remember? They killed must about 5 persons or wounded about 5 persons one Boxing Day evening as they listened to the results of Junkanoo. So we're seeing a major development in that eastern part of the island in gangsterism and warfare. And one of the things that is lacking is good political leadership. And Chanel Ferguson is in an ideal position because she lives right there in the Congo town. And for most of you who may not have studied some of the tribal history, Congo town people don't mess around. And she lived right in the heart of Congo town. And I think she needs to do more. She could even use her feminine touch among the men and see whether or not she can get them on the right track. Let's look at what the Nassau Guardian say, because I think this story is important, particularly for parents, all right? And it goes like this. Teenager murdered in Fox Hill. Police are searching for clues as to who killed a 16-year-old boy in the backyard of his Fox Hill home on Tuesday. The teenager was shot in the yard through Rice Street around 11:30 p.m., police said. The boy has been identified as Jeffrey Wright. Wright's grandmother said she found his body after hearing several gunshots. All I hear is the gun bullet was going bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow, said Miriam Brennan. Where people is run through the yard, you don't think nothing funny. When I get up, I say to my child to go with me. So she said, let's walk in the yard because the person, and then I got to turn to A9. Now here is a sad case where a Negro grandmother, hearing all that gunshot, when she wake up, she tell one of the child them, let us go and see what is happening in the back of the yard. And so it goes on to say, let's see what happened. And when I look, my grandson was laying down there between the wall, dead. Brennan said the man was on foot and ran after hiding in bushes in the family backyard. The grandmother Pierre's screaming could be heard around the community as she mourned inconsolably. Brennan told The Guardian yesterday that she does not understand why anyone would want to take her grandson's life. I ain't no troublesome person, nice, manly, okay? He wasn't a troublesome person, and he don't bother with people, the grandmother said. He wasn't like that. He was christened in church and grew up in church. He went to the States with his Grammy, came back over, and he was supposed to go back with his Grammy. He wasn't troublesome. He liked to eat plenty. Police are calling on anyone with information to contact them. So, you see what's going on in the country? And so there is no solution. Meanwhile, Marvin Dames, with his smart self, ain't got no solution. There he was, criticizing the PLP, running on, and he had no strategy. The only strategy he had is to cause the commissioner of police to go in hiding. So Grainsted has gone into hiding. Nobody knows where he is. And bam, baby to the breast is being killed. All kind of people are being killed. And the FNM offer us no solution. The Prime Minister offer us no solution. So we are in trouble. Terrible trouble. Since I've mentioned the police, I want to say something to the Acting Commissioner of Police, Mr. Ferguson. What is Mr. Ferguson's first name? Anthony Ferguson. He's family to my ma, you know, right there in the back of Forest. Anthony Ferguson. It is absolutely unfair when the police, and I don't know why Parliament gave the police this authority to be involved in the granting of business licenses. In the District of New Providence, appeared before me a Negro woman who claimed that she had permission to do her little business on Gladstone Road. And then all of a sudden, the police, having heard that the person who granted her authority to preside and to do business on the land was not the truthful owner. So the police revoked her permit. I want to know when the police was empowered to determine the question of title. Whenever land is in dispute, Mr. Commissioner, that is a decision for a judge of the Supreme Court. I want you to know that. Whenever one person alleges that he is the owner or the other person is the owner, the police is supposed to say, you better go to court. And a magistrate has the authority to determine the question of title. I know this. I'm 60. All right? So you'll revoke the woman's license. So she goes off and she finds another man who apparently could show title. And she's applied for the permit, and now the police is frustrating her. Come, man, don't frustrate her. Don't frustrate her. We have to learn as civil servants. We must say to ourselves, when citizens come to us for help, we must say, how may I help? What can I do to help? As opposed to coming up with ideas not to help. That isn't how it was intended. Whenever a citizen comes to a government agency for help, we must find ways to help them. But in the Bahamas, we don't do that. When you show up, we come up with ideas to prevent you from making a living. We mustn't do that. I'm very disturbed over the fact, all right? And then, of course, she points out a contradiction to me, a contradiction that places me in a conflict, all right? I'm in a conflict because, you know, my people, the Haitian people, I have to look out for them. You follow? But she pointed out a contradiction. She said, listen, they wouldn't give me permission, but down the road, Mommy got permission. And I tried to say to her, don't tell the police about Mommy. All right? I tried to say to her, don't mention Mommy. You're right, but don't mention Mommy. All right? So, will the commissioner please find a way to help the people there. And going forward, I'm going to petition this government to take away all trappings of the police as it relates to the granting of license. The police should not be involved in it. The police job ought to be enforcement of law, detection of crime. But for you have to now go to the police to say, listen, I need my little license or approval. I don't know what was the basis behind all of that. And the woman complained. All right? The woman complained. I won't say that bad. Man, don't mention Mommy them to the police. Right? Because Mommy need to make little things. And then when I go to Mommy, I suppose buy my little okra. You know? My little okra and thing like that. So tout mon haïtien, gardez pour anglais, parce que matin, yon anglais a vine pour expliquer problème. Yo gagne ak police la, parce que police la créé un pile problème pour lui. And madame anglais dit, il y a un problème avec ça, parce que tout mon haïtien yo gagne business. Oh boy. I wonder sometime of these conflicts that I find myself in. My love for the Bahamian people and my equal love for the Haitian people. Well, to my Haitian brothers, I say, Kampe Buki, Wap Domi, Le ouve bum 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 bum. So I just had to say that. So these are some of the problems that we are having in the country. Murder, they're killing the baby, right? Then the government say they're shocked. That is shocked. But everybody ignore the fact that thousands of abortions are committed in the country. And the only people you could abort is baby. And I keep telling y'all, and I have to repeat it because I'm annoyed by it, that I saw the photograph, right, of this baby boy that they abort. And it's like if somebody had a very sharp knife and just cut him straight in half. Right in half. And the other half of him, you know, like from his stomach go down, it was like if it was just meat nicely stacked. All right? It's a wicked country. These people, a lot of people here going to hell. Bunch of baby killers. Anyway. Okay. The other day, Frankie Campbell, right? Remember, I'm on his case. Frankie Campbell, last year, went to the Haitian church, and Louis Georges put on his Facebook page some address that Frankie gave to the Haitian people. And let me see if I have the English translation before I remind the Haitian people. All right? The English translation is, last year, Frankie Campbell spoke at a meeting. I was fair in a Haitian church on the record. I'm only reading what the translation is. He is the son of a Haitian and is a minister in the new government of the Bahamas. It is not for him. Education minister cannot tell what this to be done in English, in education. Goodness me. The translation, you know, the Haitian talks extremely interesting in Haitian Creole, and they just literally translate it. All right? I think I better just tell the Haitian how Frankie pardon. Année passée, Frankie Campbell ti parle nan yon rencontre moi ti fem nan yon l'église haïtien sous dossier l'école là. Monsieur c'est petit haïtien ele se yon ministre nan nouveau gouvernement Bahamas. Li pa ministre éducation, so li pa ka di ki sa ki pou fet nan éducation même. Li ka di yon mot, li ti pale bien nan rakon la, so sa vli di ti ver peut-être parler par ili ti tande tout ça ti moun yo et parents yo ti di nan rakon la. Kompiti immigrant li dwe kompran problem yo et li dwe parler avec partisan yo. Nou pa di li pa faire ça déjà même. Nous pensons, nouveau gouvernement FNM, ça tape quitter Timonio, aller l'école. I'm going to give it my brief translation because I don't like all this nonsense. Actually, Frankie was telling them that how he is not the Minister of Education and what the new FNM government will do, and was encouraging people to keep their children in school. You see, I have put Frankie on the most vulnerable minister list. You see, I have been watching Frankie in the Ministry of Transport and the fact that he's the minister responsible for maritime. And I'm watching Frankie because I believe Frankie is the first minister that we can knock out. Just knock him out because he's not reading. See, I have my agents. Agent number 1 said, Minister wouldn't read. I said he wouldn't read. And so we did a test to see if he would read. And then he showed up at a certain place. I don't want to say the certain place yet because he would then figure out what I'm talking about. So I think we could knock him out because there are some fundamental errors that are being committed. And I'm really doing it because I want to show FNMs how vulnerable the party is and how senior ministers, they're not reading. They're lazy. I'm serious with that. They're not reading. Okay? And Frankie, you know, if I could get him to be more Haitian friendly, I would not move against him. But he's not been as friendly to my people, the Haitian people. And so I've decided we can knock him out. Perhaps next week we should start working on Frankie. And why is it important to knock Frankie out? Frankie is Minnie's most loyal man. You see? And one of the ways we can undo Minnie's is to go after Frankie based on the fact that Frankie is not reading. And I keep sending the message, read. It's not reading. All right? And so we're going to have to go after Frankie. Frankie, now we're going to give you one more opportunity, okay? You will be given another document, and you have to read it, okay? And before you do anything, consult with the PM, all right? Because we are able to knock you out. In maritime, you misunderstood what is taking place. So you have to sit down and read it. The first thing you have to recognize is American citizens have been abusing our maritime laws. Use a policeman. That's the first thing. They're abusing it. All right? How is it that you ain't pick up yet? The technocrats keep telling me that all they point this out to you, you look like if you compromise. You are to defend the laws of the Bahamas. That is what you're supposed to do. The Americans, that policy whereby they determine whether or not they have brought people into the country is stupid. I don't care who enacted that. It's stupid, Frankie. You have to amend the law to say that every cruise boat coming into the Bahamas, they must stop at the entrance point or the clearance point or the port of entry where the government can verify the amount of people entering the island. Come on. What's so difficult about that? I want you to be a good minister. You must also recognize that the sailors, the people there who run in the cruise business out of Florida, they have gotten around us by flying in the people. So they fool the Negroes and say, ain't nobody. And then they fly them into the hotel. Then they board the boat. So you have to come up with another method to check the boat and ask them, what you doing with these people? And it cannot be an honor system where they tell the government, come on, why you're so stupid? Why you're so stupid? Huh? It can't work like that. And I keep sending you a little message, man. I'm not against you. It can't be done. You say to the Americans, coming into the country, we need to know in advance who you're bringing in. Nobody could fly from the Bahamas to America, without U.S. authorities knowing who is entering their country. Nobody. These white people who got sense. So we can learn from sensible white people and their policies. So that is what is taking place. They're fooling us. They're lying to us. Frankie, I walked over to Paradise Island to see. And I say, oh yeah, I see what you say. Now how come you ain't know that? Huh? If you ain't know it, you shouldn't be minister. So listen to the technocrats. The Americans are ripping us off. They're ripping us off. And the only way we are going to be able to sustain our economy and to do things for our people is to ensure that that business where they come in to do excursion, we can properly tax them. It can't be based on the fact of what they tell us. You hear me? Because all the Americans are not safe. I think next week, I'm just going to focus on Frankie. I got all the thing. Stock right up. Got all the information. And I'm ready to fire. I mean, it's going to be powerful. Do the thing right, Frankie, because millions of dollars we have lost under the PLP, under the FNM, under the PLP again, because we have not collected the taxes. That ain't got nothing to do with the marine exploitation. They come in and they just rip our ocean. They rape the ocean, fishing and so forth. And all we do with our stupid self is say, oh, they're Americans. Okay? Come on. If you all can't protect the integrity of the country and the sovereignty of the country, what y'all want elected office for? And that's what's going on. Millions of dollars. I got the facts, I got the facts. So I want you to do something about that, eh? Because I'm fed up with this nonsense. And I think next week, I could now fire Scuds. Because I got all the thing, and the technical people have properly educated me, and I know exactly what to do. I want you to know it, Frankie. I got it. Okay? Now, you've done one thing so far, but I'm not going to mention it, because if I tell you what you've done, you'll be able to figure out my sauce. And I got to protect my sauce, because what time is it? It's the people's time. It is the people's time. Where's my spiritual advisor? It's almost 5 o'clock, and I haven't seen him yet. Lord, what the effing am doing with my spiritual advisor? Bring him safely to the studio. When I come back, I'm going to open the line and read text. Take good care. We'll be right back.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV Studios. During the break, I received a call from a member of the Prince of Peace Lodge, to which he pointed out to me that the Minister of Transport, the Honorable Franklin Campbell, is a member of the lodge. He wants me to know that Frankie is the Grand Master of the Prince of Peace Lodge. Well, comrades, it was never my intention as a justice of the peace to be insensitive and disrespectful to the Prince of Peace Lodge, your Grand Master. I don't know if he is as incompetent in the ministry as I think he would be in the lodge. It would be terrible. Okay? Speak to your Grand Master. Okay? I'm not insulting the lodge, but speak to your Grand Master. Grand Master, the Honorable Frankie Campbell. He's allowing the ships, the crews, what you call them boat that comes in on site tour from Florida. Those yachts. Thank you, my spiritual advisor. Bradley Rowan, welcome to Freedom Mart.
Thank you very much.
It's an honor to have you here. And to my producers, y'all cut off your phone. I can hear everything y'all are saying. So, the lodge. I'm not attacking the lodge, okay? Your Grand Master he can win a seat, but he's doing a terrible job. Take it from me. I'm an F&M. I know what he's doing. The source of my information comes from the F&M. The PLP is not in a position to provide me with this kind of intelligence, all right? So what we're doing in the F&M, they're passing me the information, and I'm the mouthpiece, all right? You're hearing my voice, but it's not my words. It's the party words. So if you're displeased with my criticism of your Grand Master, tell him to buckle up. Simple as that. Who the hell do y'all think y'all is but the Prince of Peace? Huh? There's only one Prince of Peace, and that's Jesus. Okay? How dare y'all call this show, or call me off air to tell me nonsense, but the minister is the Grand Master. Grand Master of what? Huh? Goodness me. What kind of thing this is, man? Say he's the Grand Master. But he happens not to be the Grand Master in the Ministry of Transport. All them American yacht from Miami, they're coming in, and they ain't paying proper tax. Grand Master, my foot. My spiritual advisor, please forgive me.
Why are you attacking Frankie, man?
I'm not attacking him.
Gee, Mr. Mark, why don't you give Mr. Campbell a break, man?
I'm trying.
The Honorable Frankie Campbell.
He's the Grand Master.
Yeah, he's in a lodge.
Huh?
Yeah, me and him have had discussions on that before.
He's in the lodge? How often he goes to meetings?
I condemn the lodge, as a matter of fact.
You told him?
You remember now, I have a cousin of mine who was shot to death, a police officer, who was shot to death. Him and Frankie were very, very, very close. Very close.
It had anything to do with the lodge?
And me and my cousin had numerous discussions over the lodge, and he told me that the lodge is not a secret order. It's an order with secrets.
Really?
Is there a difference?
Well, I don't know. I know the late, what was the name of that commissioner of police? He has a son named after him.
Oh, B.K. Barnaby?
Yeah, I know B.K. Barnaby. He had a lodge.
Really?
And in the lodge were, in those days, practically every senior judge of the Supreme Court.
It's a very powerful order. It's a very powerful order.
When I discover it accidentally because they were eating in the Hilton Hotel. And, everybody looked so majestic. And I asked the Negro waiter, what this is? And he said, come outside. And he told me, that's the lodge. I said, all them judge in the lodge? Yeah. I said, all them senior civil servants?
Yeah,
said, yeah.
the lodge is a
so I asked him
powerful movement.
Where they meet. So he showed me one building on Shirley on Bay Street. So every night when they meet, I used to sneak around the door to see if I could hear what they were saying.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very, very powerful movement. I think they have been trying to carbon copy the Christian Brotherhood. A lot of principles that they use are basically founded on Christian principles. As a matter of fact, if I was a person who didn't understand my Bible, they were trying to tell me that Jesus Christ was a part of the lodge.
Well, the most thing I like about the lodge,
I find it to be very absurd.
I love when you go to court, because when I go to court, I try to see if I could do a little Lord
sign,
James. Yeah, to see if it would work.
they also greet you and shake your hand in a very funny way. You can always tell when Lodge brothers greet one another. The handshake is very peculiar.
Really?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Okay.
Very peculiar.
That must be what they was trying to do to me. I said to the father, listen, I've mounted the goat.
But, you know, you made some very interesting comments, Mr. Monica, and I have to agree with you as a defender of the faith, one who defends Christianity, that Christians should not be involved in the lodge.
Really?
No, they should not be.
Is Frankie safe?
I don't know. Me and we've had one or two biblical discussions. I haven't come to the conclusion yet on Frankie, though he's a very, very, very good friend of mine, actually. Very good friend of mine.
How he could be?
I condemn the lodge, though.
How he could be a good friend and stand right there in the cabinet and know that the FNM is victimizing you and he don't speak out?
No, well, me and Frankie talk.
How
can I don't know.
Call him your friend?
Yeah, Frankie's my friend.
Frankie and all this victimization they're doing to you?
Well, I don't know. I haven't got a chance to speak with him on that.
Goodness, my spiritual advisor.
Eventually we will.
Eventually me and Frankie will talk. And spiritual advisor, read some text, because a Negro person say, I'm not reading enough text.
Yeah, you have quite a bit here.
Read text. Let's see what the texts are saying.
Here we go. I think that the lodge is a cult, my dear brother.
Really?
My dead brother was in the Masonic Lodge. Thank you, Nicola Stubbs. I agree with you. The lodge is a cult, to say the least.
Goodness me.
Here we go.
More text.
Give thanks to God, Mr. Monica, spiritual advisor. Crime is still out of control. A 16-year-old young boy died yesterday in Fox Hill. This is a gun town, Mr. Monica. Question is, crime is high because there are no jobs. Mr. Monica, why aren't we hanging these young men?
Monica, you're playing journalists. Do a better job than the regular lazy media. It's time to march against Marvin Dames. He has no plan of any kind. This country is a mess. Listen, I agree with you. It's time to march against Marvin Dames.
Good day, Mr. Monica. I would like for you to speak to the Minister of Education, Mr. Jeff Lloyd, and let him know that bullying is going on in our schools. Thank you very much.
I deeply apologize to you, Mr. Monica, for the F word, but I will have a chance to meet you in person for the first time. From Ginger. Listen, I always love Ginger. Monica, you need the volume higher. Please, Lord Jesus, by grab. Listen, y'all make sure the volume is up, eh? Because some of these Negro people got wax in the air. Go ahead.
Mr. Monica, the FNM listens to your show. The Prime Minister had to have been advised that Wayne Monroe and Elliot Lockhart agreed about the green community. Had not Wayne Monroe mentioned it on your show, the PM would not have a change of heart. Senator, your waves are making an impact.
The FNM wants to take all the contracts for schools, parks, and roads and let Ministry of Works do them. All I cry, shame on Minis and the FNM. Likido Mama Ching Wong 42. You didn't have to curse.
Yeah,
but it's a
terrible.
Wonderful thing. But you could say Ching Wong 42. Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
Mr. Monica and spiritual advisor, good evening. I don't hear anything about the government honoring the CLECO deal from the former government. The former government made a deal, Mr. Monica. What is going on?
I don't know what the heck is going on other than, and this is important to note, and I challenge the Minister of Finance to deny it. I have received in the District of New Providence a Negro male who was paid, and he claims that his check from NEMA is bouncing. I cannot believe that the government would knowingly write checks to bounce. I asked my party to deny it. I mean, checks bouncing? Goodness of mercy. What other texts do we have?
Crime is not high because of job cuts. They are killing for money. Is that so, Mr. Monica?
I
They're
don't
killing
know
for
why.
money?
I think they're killing because they know that there are weak-kneed, apologetic Negroes who are running the country. Menace ain't telling nobody to stop killing. Marvin ain't telling nobody to stop killing. That's what's going on. Meanwhile, nobody knows where Ellison Greenslade, the commissioner of police, is. Nobody knows. I've never seen a country like this where the prime minister nor the minister of national security will tell us the whereabouts of the commissioner of police. Is he free? Where is the commissioner? Anyway, I don't know. Welcome to Freedom March.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monken, spiritual advisor.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
How are you both?
Doing great.
Spiritual advisor, I got
Hey.
a little concerned today because when I didn't see you arrive, I was wondering if you were going to show up. But I'm so happy that you're there today.
Yeah, absolutely.
I tried to get through yesterday, but I couldn't get through on the lines. When you all were talking about the matter with the
Insurance?
minimum wage.
Minimum wage, yes.
Yes, I did check.
What is it?
Into the matter, and it is actually minimum wage is $210 per week, or $5.25 per hour, or $42 per day.
Right.
That is the new minimum wage that is in effect.
Right.
And that would be for state and the private sector?
Yes, that's the Department of Labor. I confirmed it with them.
$210?
$10 a week.
$210 per week, or $5.25 per hour, or $42 per day.
Well, minutes going to have to increase that because $210 ain't enough.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
You know, you all continue to do well. Mr.
Absolutely.
Monken, keep holding the government's feet to the
We're
fire.
going to do it. And listen,
God bless you. God save the Queen.
but before you leave, my dear,
Yes, sir.
get your tennis ready.
Oh, man. We can't wait until later on down in October. We need to march like yesterday.
Wow. Well, listen, we can do it in October.
Okay, sir.
God
I'll be
save the
ready.
Queen. Be ready.
Take care. God bless you both.
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello. Welcome to Freedom March. Any more texts?
Yes.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Senator, how
My
you
love,
doing?
I am saddened today.
Oh, Lord, have
Yeah.
mercy. And your spiritual advisor,
I
how
am
are you?
fine. I'm fine. How you doing?
I'm great.
Great.
Senator,
Yes?
please tell me, where is Rumi Fafara?
Oh, there was a statement in the newspaper. Rumi say what they say about him ain't true. Say he ain't back up no car. He was sober at all times. And
You sure?
yeah.
Well, where is he?
I don't know. All I
He
know.
is the environmental health minister and hurricane and everything coming by.
All I know is in 1974, when he came to me and said, Monka, lift me up. I should have let him drop. Okay?
That's not a nice thing. You'll be able to see Mr. Fiero next week, Tuesday, I think. He's having a...
You have a nice day.
Okay.
Thank you.
You too.
My spiritual
I think he's
advisor.
having a constituency meeting.
Okay. Hello.
So they'll be able to
Welcome
see him
to
then.
Freedom March.
Hi, Senator.
Is this the minister?
Hello, Senator.
Is this Rummy?
Hello.
Hello.
This is Senator.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm calling on behalf of... I watch your show every day of my life as I sit here in the Ponderosa. But I'm saying something that I really don't really like to know that what I saw even this morning at 10 o'clock.
What was that?
When the young man was supposed to come on, when they came on, was nobody at the desk, and it took some half an hour before he came on.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about having the presentation on television. When the camera is on, should be ready. Everybody should be ready to be on focus. Is the camera came on just on the chair. This morning. And the other thing I'm saying
Which
is
show was that?
Being a person who I am, I've been out in the world for a long time.
Okay.
And I noticed now that the senator is being absent so long that he's not presenting himself as you come on. I don't know what it is, but I guess he
You're
has
my
a different
spiritual
job
advisor.
to do. But I feel as though, you can't say you be waiting for him. You should just come on and say, look here, we have the senator be here, and the senator be...
You're talking about the spiritual advisor.
The special advisor, yes. I mean, for the past couple of weeks, he was being delayed.
I have an explanation
it's not right
for
on,
him.
on television because everybody looked for him. Even like yesterday, we watched him and people asked for him, and he was behind the clown.
I have an explanation for him. You see, he's faced with two situations. One is political, and one is family. He has a wonderful daughter who's a student at Queen's College, and he has that responsibility of collecting her. And then he has discovered a new thing. When he appears at Queen's College, the children them, the student them, they have uncovered his identity. And that's what it is. He's been, the children them at Queen's College, they know he's the spiritual advisor. But he's going to get things right.
Yeah, I'm going to make an improvement for you, okay?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if it can be a half an hour late, not say late, don't say it can be late. Just say he'll be coming on at 4 o'clock or whatever it may be, or 3:30.
You're right.
And it makes it feel good because you're on live television.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I thank you very much.
I agree with you on that.
Give my regard to the Ponderosa.
God bless you.
God bless you
save
too.
the Queen.
God bless you.
Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Malker.
Yes, my dear.
How are you today?
Listen, I'm angry.
How's the spiritual advisor?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Okay, Mr. Malker.
Yes?
I have a situation. This isn't concerning the show. Listen to this.
Yes?
This is a problem I have with one of my girlfriends. Her mom died at home about 3 weeks ago, right?
Right.
So there's an autopsy that they usually do to find out the cause of death.
Okay.
Now, listen to this.
I'm listening.
The body has not yet been released, right?
Right.
And they plan the funeral to be this Saturday. Today is Thursday.
Okay.
Now, Mr. Malker, who's responsible for this? Is it the funeral director supposed to let them know when he get the body from the morgue, right?
Well, first of all, did they sign the necessary documents authorizing the undertaker to get the body?
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Well, then...
Because he is telling them he would be getting the body late this afternoon. But does it not take 24 hours for embalmment?
Well, I'm not sure of the science, but I kind of have confidence in the local morticians, right? And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, listen, if he says that he will have that body ready, I think he has that capacity, that gift, that talent.
Mr. Monka, because I told her, I said, do you want me to call Mr. Monka and put this in his lap? She said, go right ahead because I'm at my wit's end. These are young people.
Okay.
And I don't think they should be taking, they shouldn't even make arrangements until you get that body from, Mr. Monka, you know how much murder's been going on and all those bodies have to do autopsy?
There has to be autopsy.
Yeah.
They back up from the hurricane.
And then the police has to release, in the case of murdered
thank you.
victims, the police.
Thank you.
I know one body the police kept for years. The family forgot the body. Yeah. But tell the person, just relax and let the undertaker do the work. And if he has all the programs ready, then Saturday is the funeral. Other than that, it would have to be adjourned to the following week.
Yes, and if they adjourn it, Mr. Monka, the pastor want another $800 because he had to fly in.
Well, where he lives? In heaven?
I asked and they don't want to tell me. I don't know if it's a family island or where. I say he's asking if the funeral is not this Saturday, he needs another $800.
Well, listen, I could always find them a pastor. I am close to many pastors, and if they're having any problem, tell them call me quietly, and I can assign one or two wonderful men of God.
Okay.
And I'm a kind of man, if the man of God don't want to go, me and my spiritual advisor, we know how to pray.
Absolutely.
I know that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, and have a good day.
You do the same.
And tell them to relax, okay?
Okay.
Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Are you there? No, spiritual advisor, read me some text.
Mr. Monka, good evening to you and your spiritual advisor. Can you please, I don't know how they expect for you to do this one, but it says, can you please confirm if these two vehicles belong to the government? They're red plates, GV 0039, a white minivan, and GV 4147, a black Kia Optima. Both of these cars were driving recklessly today and almost ran me off the road. can you please ask the government to put responsible people behind these vehicles? Please,
Well,
Mr. Monka.
listen.
I mean, these individuals drove these cars in a reckless and sickening manner.
Wow. Listen, let us all be responsible on our streets when we are driving, whether or not we are ordinary citizens or government employees. Okay? Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Monka. How are you today?
Listen,
I'm
I'm
spiritual advisor.
Hey,
Yes.
what's happening? Everything okay?
Thank God for life.
Absolutely.
Mr. Monka, we from the Marathon constituency.
you're from Marathon.
Yes, sir.
Who's
And
your MP?
Forgive me, because I made a mistake. I know now I made a mistake.
What do you mean?
That Romy, I don't know.
What sin has he
You
done?
sorry?
All type of things in Marathon talking about this man. And he
Really?
was spreading all these rumors on the other representative. I mean, he lied on the other man like nothing, and he's the one who really have the problem.
Goodness of my seat. Be careful because Romy, I know him from he was a little
And
boy. I
we
used
come
lift
to
him up.
find out in the Marathon constituency, half of the things they saying about him is the truth.
Goodness of my seat. Be careful because I used to lift him up, but I should have dropped him, right? But
Yeah.
his family would have been mad with me. Look, you know he has a constituency meeting.
When? What day?
Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday this next week.
Thursday, we can close that out for him then.
Not
Tuesday.
Tuesday. No, don't close it. I want you to go and listen because he may have some good ideas. Okay? Do I have more calls? Read text, my spirit. Read
Okay,
text.
here we go, Mr. Monka.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monka. The government should ban the usage of all firecrackers and other similar items during this Halloween season, which begins in October through Christmas. Reason being, they sound like gunfire, Mr. Monka.
I quite agree with you.
Mr. Monka, altogether, there were millions of dollars spent in a couple of days preparing for Hurricane Irma, and despite the government warning, there was still price gouging big time. How can this be dealt with? I think there's an article in the papers on this.
On what? I didn't know that.
Price gouging. I think they've
Well, Dr.
identified.
Bennis has pledged that he will have the Attorney General prosecute.
Yeah.
Today, I've written a letter to a Chinese businessman which will be delivered because a Negro male appeared before me and said that the Chinese move all the cheap toner off the shelf in the height of the storm. So it's a man that I know for many years. So I'm writing him to ask him what explanation he's willing to offer before I turn the letter over to the Attorney General. But just in fairness, you see. But ministers say they will be prosecuted. And that is the proper thing. Because whenever you price gouge, particularly in a crisis, that constitutes gangsterism. All right? Gangsterism. And it ought to be condemned. Read text, my spiritual advisor.
Mr. Monka, I am sending you a photo from a particular food store that is selling eye-round steak at $88.16 a pound.
That might be special
Mr. Monka.
steak. Is that special steak?
Mr. Monka, this man must have gone crazy.
That
The-
ain't special steak.
I don't know.
Some
This-
steaks are expensive.
I know ribeye is expensive. This is eye-round steak. A pound here, this is actually $76.70.
That sounds like good steak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It-
Find out what kind of steak that is. All right? Because we want to be sure that we're not falsely
Accusing them of
accusing
price gouging, yes.
people. Because the businessmen are very important in a community. You know, businesses help to stimulate the economy and so forth. All right? And listen, stop eating steak, eh?
Yeah, it has been in your system for at least a week, I
Yeah,
understand.
stop eating steak. Why
Yes,
don't you
not
have
good for you.
fish, grouper, little conch?
Tuna,
All right?
sardine.
Things like that. This is Freedom March. My spiritual advisor is here, and he's been overwhelmed by students of Queens College.
Wow.
It's powerful.
Unbelievable.
Be right back.
Do you have something to say to the senator? Call Freedom March at 323-7775. Toll free from anywhere in the Bahamas at 242-300-0045. Freedom March with Rodney Monker, only on ILTV. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. I am praying for Chrissy Love and Omar Archer. Do Lord, touch their hearts, and may they turn away from those things which are not good. I start off by shouting to all the students of Queen's College who saw my spiritual advisor and were honored to meet him. I also want to salute Mr. Alexander Green. He lives in McCullough Corner. He and I spoke for almost half an hour yesterday. Mr. Green, you flattered me, and I thank you for those kind words. May God bless you. And I was so impressed by your son. Man, he holds you in high esteem. And to Sean Wilson, well, I have discovered a secret, but I salute you, Sean Wilson. And guess what? Ricardo Luisma Disa and Lea Uveli Mandeli. And so, Alexander Green, good man. Sean Wilson, a great man. Hello. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monker and spiritual advisor.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm going to say what I have to say, and I'm going to hang up and listen to you all. Don't you think why the young fellas say I'm killing and robbing and stuff because they don't have any job? And what government should it do if they been up there for one time, up in the prison for one time? Don't put that bad record on their record for the first time if they ever been one time. You should have give them a break and try them out so they can get a job. I think that's the problem why they're killing and robbing and stuff like that. So I'll hang up.
Okay.
You all have a good evening.
You do the same, ma'am.
We thank you.
Very well.
The lady who raised the question, I'll give her a story. In 1981, it started. It went on to 1982. I was chairman of the then Workers' Party, and a contingent of us met with the late Sir Lyndon Pinley, Andrew Dud Maynard, and the late Berlin Pratt. We discussed with Pinley the need to expunge certain criminal records. Pinley agreed, and subsequently legislation was put in place where a certain category of criminal offenses, the first 7 years, it's expunged. If you, leading up to the first 7 years, you commit another offense before 7 years run on the first offense, you have to start all over. And then it extended to 14 years. But there are certain category of crimes that we can't do it. You can't expunge for, let's say, drug smuggling or murders. Now, provision is in the law to get the Governor General to grant a pardon, if I understand the law correctly. But provisions are already in the law for certain petty criminal offenses to be expunged after 7 years and depending after 14 years. But it is a matter that is still open to discussion. One of the problems that the country, and when I say the country, I mean the government. No, when I say the country, yes, I mean the government. For instance, in the Bahamas, we have a situation, and let's use the United States Embassy. Now, recognize that the American government is so powerful that they have been able to infiltrate, let's say, the Soviet government. So here in the Bahamas, we are a joke. All the Americans have to tell me I could go to Miami. And if they say I could go to Miami, I give them all the secret, right? Now, the problem they can have with me is I scare them Miami. and scared of going to plane. So I can get them no secret. One of the situations that I know of is that many officers in the Royal Bahamas Police Force provides unlawfully certain information to the United States Embassy. Take that from me. I make that up. Take that from me. I make that up. And so, we could expunge an offense. But the police provides the embassy with the intelligence. So when you show up and say to the embassy, my record has been expunged, they then look at the record that the police unlawfully provided to them. Lord Jesus, protect me. And the Americans, y'all don't do me nothing, eh? I only telling the truth. Don't do me nothing. And so, when you then go to the embassy and you go with your clean record, they would say, you Rodney Monka? And I said, yes. And you live in Black Village? I said, yes. And you born on the 30th of November, 1956? I said, yes. And you used to work the Club Med, right? I said, yes. They said, well, okay then. Come back tomorrow, eh? And when I come back tomorrow, no visa. Now, you want to know how I know? I happen to be talking with a senior American official in the American embassy. He had not known that I had just come from a senior police officer. And so as I was talking to him, we were talking about Joe Blow. And he said to me, oh, Officer 003 just sent me the police record. And it was a good thing I was young, or I would have had a heart attack. And I couldn't believe that Officer so-and-so had sent the man something contrary to law. And the man told me. And I pretend like I didn't understand him. And when I left, I said, wow, we're in trouble. But then America's a powerful country. And they got plenty money and plenty political influence. So therein lies the problem. All right? Don't forget, in 1990, they brought down the Soviet Union on 1991. All right? So what do you think about an island full of Negroes who won't go to Miami? You see? We'll tell them everything. So therein lies the problem.
She also makes mention of first-time offenders. I think there should be some kind of
depending my spiritual advisor on the crime.
Okay.
If you've been bringing in truckload of cocaine into the country, who expunge that? Huh? Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monka.
Good afternoon, my love.
And good afternoon, spiritual advisor.
How are you?
Mr. Monka.
Yes.
The F&M needs to give a contract. I just passed Cowpen Road today.
Yeah.
And the bush is growing all over the sidewalks. They need to start giving out contracts to clean up the Nassau because Nassau is in a mess.
You ain't read the grapevine and the punch? Where the F&M only giving his feet out? You see in the grapevine? I say, did you see the grapevine?
No, I didn't see the grapevine. I know how to read the punch.
Well, you better get somebody to read it to you because...
And spiritual advisor.
Hey.
Your daughter or your son, whoever goes to that school, they're going to a good school. I just retired from there 2 years ago.
Queen's
It's
College?
an excellent school.
Yeah, my daughter
and
goes
you make
there.
sure keep your child there.
Absolutely, I would do that.
You'll have a nice day.
Do well, sister. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Monka.
Yes.
I asked you a question just, but I don't think I heard you. Could you tell me where I could find Mr. Vaughn Miller, the MP for Golden Isles? I haven't seen Mr. Miller since May the 10th.
You ain't see Miller?
No.
Well, I understand he secretly watched Freedom March. Can't let Minister know. Minister Vaughn Miller, I have here a lady who can't find you. Send me a text. You know, my number is 4345760, telling me, 1, your number, 2, where your constituency office is located, and 3, when you gonna have a branch meeting. Don't forget what time it is. It is the people's time.
Thanks, Mr. Monka.
And listen, if you hear from him, let me know, eh?
But doesn't he have a constituency office?
But Mr. Monka.
Yes?
The constituency office used to be open when it's campaign time.
It's
but
not
it's
open now?
closed down now.
Okay.
Because Frankie office
Hold
is
on,
open
I'm
every
getting a
Thursday.
private call. This might be him.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Miller.
Okay,
You're
hello?
welcome.
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Is this Minister One? Huh?
Hey, how you doing?
Who is this? Who am I talking to?
You're talking to somebody else in Freeport.
Oh, okay. But don't call me on my line. Call me on the
Yeah,
station line. I thought you was the
323-7775.
minister, okay? All right. Give out the number so he'd know what to call.
It just flash. Yeah, 323-7775.
Say it again.
That's 323-7775.
Hello. Do I have another caller?
Mr. Monk, how are you?
I am fine, sir.
Good, spiritual advisor.
How you doing? Everything well?
You're the man from Freeport?
Haven't spoken for a while.
Okay.
But, you know, it's so sad that it's more the same thing with the F&M. You know, I mean, all of this stuff that they're talking about, different things that could be changed to help the country in terms of, you know, police records and certain things are not being done.
Yes.
You know, I think they should take some ideas from what DNA had up on those billboards.
Yes.
You know, one of them that I was speaking to a few business owners today was the price of the business license. You know, they're charging on the gross of the business license, not on the net.
Right.
And plus, I mean, it should be just one set price, you know?
Okay.
For certain offenses, like the lady was talking about, like, you know, you have a little joint or something like that. I don't think that should be a criminal offense.
Right.
You know, I don't think that it should come with a penalty, but not necessarily a criminal offense. But some of these things was advocated by the DNA, and they listen to all of this glitz and glamour with the People's Time and all of that. And as you can see right now, the People's Time is not doing much.
But,
you know,
in fairness to the PLP,
Pardon me?
in fairness to the PLP, I want you to listen to this. Provision has already been made in the law to expunge certain categories of criminal offenses.
Okay.
Right, well, that's good.
Depending
that's
on
good.
it.
But, I mean, the fact of the matter is there's so many different things that could be happening within this country to get the economic boost going. And
I agree with you.
It's like they're dragging their feet. I mean, there are things that could be done.
You're not
but
being
the
fair to
powers
them.
that support both parties
Look,
won't allow it.
The problem
You
we're
know?
faced with is every 5 years, government has changed.
Right.
So this year is a
Yes.
group of rookies.
Problem.
You see?
Well,
by the
you know,
time they figure out things,
Five
we'll
the
be
lady
voting them out.
the lady spoke about giving out contracts. I think they should go and check Freeport and see who has the majority of contracts over there.
Who got the majority over there?
Well, I understand it's either a friend, a family, or law.
Well, you know, the country is like that. We have friends.
Yeah, but I mean,
family,
how long are we
and
gonna
lots of lovers.
keep on doing
Doing
that?
that, yes, you're right.
But
How long are we gonna keep on doing this? How
why
far
is the
back do
DNA
we have
not
to go?
matching?
Pardon me?
Why is Branwell McCartney not matching?
Well, you know, the fact of the matter with Branwell McCartney, from what I could see, is, you know, I mean, you get rejected twice. I mean, the people don't want you. So what is there to march for?
What do you mean, what is there to march for?
What
If
is
you
there to
love
march
the
for,
people,
Mr. Munn?
all
The
my...
people,
Listen
the
to me
people
a
have
second.
spoken.
Listen to me a second. All my life, the people rejected me. Every time I run, they trip me down. Every time I say, vote for me, they refuse.
Right.
All right? But I continue because I am guided by political principle. And what
Well,
are
you know
they?
what? At least
government.
At least like you and Branwell McCartney, you can say at least they have tried. All right? I understand
I
you're
don't
still in
think
the
Brown
fight.
tried enough.
Pardon me?
I don't think Branwell McCartney tried
I mean,
enough.
he gave you the opportunity to run, and that was a really good thing too. You know, because I
Why
believe
are
in
you
you.
confusing the issue? He has not
No.
tried enough. Has
No.
he marched?
No,
has
but
he
you know,
demonstrated?
it's a
has he
point of
rallied?
time.
And has
It's a
he
point of-
sallied?
It's a point of time in everybody's life when you keep on trying and trying and trying, and as you know, political parties and stuff cost money, Mr.
The
Mann.
man just born May 6, 1967. How old he is?
50.
Huh? How old he is? I born
50
November
years.
30th, 1956. And if it is God's will, I'm marching.
Yeah, well, you know, we will still support all of your marches, Mr. Monk, as we always did.
Okay.
And but all I'm saying is, you know, we need to get some things done. We need to put the politics aside and really get some
It
things
will not be
done.
put
in the
aside.
country.
You have to wage political warfare against the forces of evil.
That's true, but at the same time, Mr. Munka,
yeah,
we need to give the FNM an opportunity to try. But from what I've been seeing so far, they're really lackadaisical and really dragging.
Not only lackadaisical, it would have been good if it's not. They're incompetent. Minister took 2,600,000
exactly.
and throw it behind the wild bird tail.
You know what's another thing I wanted to ask about?
Go ahead, comrade.
Is NIA still operational?
When you say NIA, what you're talking about? The Negro Intelligence Agency?
The National Intelligence Agency.
Of course it's still operational.
But didn't they campaign and say we need to bring some legislation and all this stuff to it? Yeah. So what are they doing with it now?
White people run the earth. And white people run the Bahamas. Don't mind Marvin. All right? Don't mind Marvin. Marvin was grandstanding.
Right.
The world has changed since 9/11.
Well, that's one of my questions because, there's still a lot of things happening in this country, a lot of robberies, a lot of murders, a lot of things like this. And if you have that type of technology and it's legislated, shouldn't it be used to try to
curb,
some of the stuff? Like today there was a car broken into.
Well.
And a young lady lost her purse.
Oh, God.
With the NIA activated and trying to find where the phones and stuff were, they could easily find, the culprit or whatever, you know?
Mm-hmm. Look, I have no confidence in these people.
Right.
Over on Paradise Island, they had the terrorists cooking. And had it not been for the Americans, I don't know how the Americans know when the terrorists over there cooking. Right? Cooking in the kitchen.
Wow.
Playing chef. And everybody hide that. Only me telling the people. And when the Americans walk in the kitchen, they saw terrorists and run them out the country. All right?
Well, Mr. Monke, it was a pleasure talking to you again.
I thank you. Are you
spiritual advisor?
Yeah, man.
Evening.
Listen, are you going to be running for any leadership in the DNA?
No. I am going to only be running my business.
They don't elect leaders,
Wow.
Yes, they do elect leaders, Mr. Monke. Come on now.
You shouldn't let it die, man. I thought you were going to run for the leadership, man.
No. I'm always the person who's behind the scenes, and I just want to help.
Okay.
At the end of the day, I have a daughter, and she's going to help siblings and children and all of that.
Right.
And I want to make sure to try to make the country better for that, for her, and for our next generation.
That's a powerful cause.
Do well.
Absolutely,
and long
comrade.
live Branwell McCartney.
Good to hear from you, eh?
DNA.
All right, likewise.
Yeah, man. Okay.
Put the camera on the spiritual advisor. I want to take a call. Read text, spiritual advisor.
Here we go. Good day,
hello,
Mr. Munka. Can you bring the gaming board on your show? They need to explain why the gaming shops are not being observed by the board like the Atlantis Casino or Bahama Casino, the local web shops. They are robbing the gaming people because they are allowed to program their own games. Isn't the gaming board supposed to program the games? This is an interesting text. Maybe I shouldn't read this one. Here we go. Water has been sucked out to sea from the shorelines of the southernmost islands. A tsunami is predicted to occur around 10 p.m. Please continue to pray for the Bahamas protection. Really? Mr. Munka. Sorry. Let me read another text here. Good day, Mr. Munka. Vaughn Miller changed the location of his constituency office. He is not in the same building, but moved to another building up the street. Mr. Munka, do you think Chrissy Love will show up to court tomorrow? Is it true that she went into CID today saying she's in fear for life?
Come back with that. What you
say?
Well,
let me read this one here. This is important. Mr. Vaughn Miller changed his location for his constituency office. He is not in the same building, but moved to another building up the street. Mr. Munka, do you think Chrissy Love will show up to court tomorrow? Is it true that she went into CID today saying she is in fear for her life?
I heard her on her show, and she
death threats.
And she said that the FNM government was plotting to kill her. And I don't know what to say. I don't think that the FNM government would kill her. She is such a charming lady. And just in case the government is contemplating that, that's what I heard it said. Listen, don't kill her. All right? She's not committed murder nor treason. If you see Chrissy Love, give her some love and tell her go to court, okay? Don't harm her. I love Chrissy Love, okay? I love her. I don't believe that the FNM will do that, okay?
Okay.
And secondly, the party has not committed any murder since 1972, okay? Yeah. I have received a call from a Negro lady who has told me that the Minister of Education, the Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd, has summoned contract workers at the, what is the name of the place where the special children go to? Yeah, what is the name of that school? Where the special children go to?
Stapleton School.
Stapleton School for the mentally retarded.
Drive?
And he will terminate 800 workers. They say on the 21st, okay? Now, if he fires 800 of you on the 21st, get ready to march and demonstrate. The Negro lady who spoke to me said, since she has been paid, they have refused to deduct national insurance and union dues. I want to tell Jeff Lloyd, even if you are firing people, you are required by the law to see that the national insurance are deducted. All right? I want you to be law-abiding. But she has told me 800. But if God spare my life and I'm feeling good, I'll ride down to the Stapleton School and park outside the gate. And as you all are fired, you come out there and talk to me, and we will organize a special march because 800 people is too many people to fire. And I'm certain that the majority of the 800 voted F&M. And this is the price you're going to get it. Lord, I ask you to touch Jeff's heart. You know his heart is like a hog heart. I got to say it. All right? Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, Mr. Moncur, how you doing?
Right, you man.
How is spiritual and wise today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Yeah, Mr. Moncur.
Yes.
Man, some of these people were calling into your show talking about the members of Parliament. What they want to see the member of Parliament for?
Well, they might want jobs.
You know, the jobs still will come anyhow when they give them a year or so for them to get this country back on the right track. And then everybody will get jobs. But the Bahamian people looks out for too much a handout.
Oh, stop it.
That got to stop.
Stop it. This is salt pork politics.
What?
I scratch your back, you can scratch my head.
No, yeah, well, they put them there. They put them there.
There you go, man, because call me back tomorrow. I have one more call, and the clock is running out on me. Call me tomorrow, early.
All right.
Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Hello?
Mr. Moncur.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Moncur.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me good?
Loud and clear.
Turn your TV down.
Talk to me.
Now, Mr. Moncur, I have a cousin.
Yes.
She's working in Freeport to the Freeport Harbor in Freeport Port, and she works at the harbor.
Yes.
And they cutting her for 2 days for the and she for the hurricane.
Really? Who's her MP?
This in Freeport.
Yeah, but who's her MP?
Now, she won't tell me about it. I'm trying to tell you.
Well, I want you to find that out and call me back tomorrow. You hear me? You heard what I say?
And they cutting off for 2 days, and that is wrong. That is wrong.
They're wicked. I can't believe the FNM. I remember when the FNM was such a safe party.
Okay, you say
find out and call me back tomorrow so I can curse her MP out. Man, Minister, don't do that, man. It was the hurricane. My spiritual advisor condemned the party.
I think that was a private company she's talking about, eh? That the person was working for.
What's a private company?
Yes. I don't
not
think
the government?
No, it's not the government.
Well, we'll find it. Call me back tomorrow and let me know. All right? Because it shouldn't happen. Any more texts? Because the clock is running out.
Mr. Moncur, that food store that had that price on the meat was an error.
Okay.
They placed the weight of the meat in the system, which calculated the price wrong.
Okay.
And of course, that meat cannot be $88
Mr. Monka, is it a conflict for members of parliament to be enlarged? How does that work? No, it's not a conflict. Next, go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
Mr. Monka, I see why the spiritual advisor can't get any contracts. This guy in the red truck is getting all the cleaning contracts.
Rodney, you're playing. The MP in Marathon is a complete fraud. Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
Good day, Mr. Monka. I'd like you to speak to Minister of Education, Jeff Lloyd. Let him know bullying is seriously in the schools.
Jeff, there's bullying in the school. Go there and talk to the children and tell them to behave themselves. Well, tomorrow is Friday. Will Omar Archer defy a summons of the court? And will Chrissy Love, will she defy? Listen, y'all go to court, be civil, tell the judge you're sorry, she'll be merciful. This is Freedom March. I'll see you all tomorrow if it is God's will.
Absolutely.
Spiritual advisor.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.